Well, growing up, there was always this debate about black people can't swim. And it's funny, I chuckle.
From a historical standpoint, back in Jim Crow era, there was some disparities on access for municipal aquatic centers, and so a lot of times African Americans were left out of access, and so just generationally, as it turns out, we just didn't have access to pools.
The whole myth behind black people not knowing how to swim stems from that, a ploy to keep black folks from trying to escape, and crossing rivers and crossing lakes, and generation after generation, that myth just kind of kept perpetuating itself by not giving them an opportunity to actually learn how to swim. By providing access to pools, then you get kind of our current state of affairs, which is black people themselves believing this sport isn't really for us.
In the late 50s and early 60s, they tell a story where the first time there was a community pool that the federal mandate required that it be integrated and that they couldn't block these people out. My brothers went there and they swam in the pool and they drained the pool the next day because these people of color swam at the pool.
If you don't teach someone how to do something, of course they can't do it. Whether that be swimming, that be another sport, that be how to do math, how to read, anything. So if you don't teach someone how to do it or actively get them involved in something, of course you're not going to be able to do it.
Facilities are there. African Americans will create within their own communities the culture of the sport where their children will participate in the rec league programs. They will swim for their middle schools or their high schools.
Kids don't sign up for sports on their own. They typically need parental consent to do that, and most swim lessons, or many swim lessons, cost money. So kids, again, you need a parent to get you involved in anything.
One of the common themes I heard was, I want them to learn how to swim. I want them to be safe.
Over 70% of the Earth's surface is covered in water. There's lakes, rivers, oceans all over the place. And so it's in your best interest to know how to swim if you encounter water.
Just because you know how to swim doesn't mean you know how to save yourself in every situation, but you have a higher chance of surviving.
And people are going to swim for recreation, but they're going to swim in natural areas and they won't necessarily have the learning cycles that will empower them. And also being faced by those dangers, you have a lot of the drowning and the loss of life in particular because of some of those dynamics.
And regardless of color, most families would say the same thing. They want their children safe. And then they would go on to share that I never learned to swim, so I want to make sure that my child can swim.
My mom didn't swim at all. She was really young. My family went to Sandy Point Beach, and I was the type of person to just walk into the beach, drag my cousin along with me, and she was terrified, so she put me into swim lessons, but she never knew how to swim.
And so we were working with children as young as 4 years old, 5 years old, getting them ready to join Takoma Park swim team. The only criteria we had to join the team was being able to swim across the width of the pool. If your child could do that, we would welcome them onto the team. If they couldn't do that, the Department of Parks and Recreation had learned to swim programs, and we could recommend that the children go to those programs, learn to swim, and then come back and join the team.
That league in the 70s where there were maybe 3 people of color outside of our team with Takoma. And we knew them and we could name them, and we were literally the only ones, and there were probably times where we were going to pools where during the week we would not have been able to swim there, but because we were a league team, on Saturday for the meet we were there. But just the community, no one would have invited you as a guest.
I am glad to say that it's 20 years later, when you go to a swim meet, at least in our area, it looks a lot more diverse, and showing the entire world, especially our own community, that no, black people do swim, can swim, and can also swim at the highest levels of the sport. All of us, coaches, swimmers, administrators, we all have a lot of hard work to do in terms of dispelling that stereotype and erasing it.